for my undergraduate degree, I did business information systems and supply chain management double degree from TCU.
Hmm.
So that was my undergraduate degree. Didn't use it at all. I got a job writing graduate level textbooks on supply chain technology for one of like the dean of the school when I graduated. Economy crashed in '08 when I, did that. Got laid off 6 months after, went into retail, got humbled tremendously. I ended up working as a sales rep at the mall after my 4 year degree, which I was too prideful to do in high school. And then, so I did that for 5 years, worked my way up to be a GM for them, was pretty successful. I've got a kind of a wild story.
Yeah.
I ended up becoming a Bible college professor after that. And so
That's
I
a jump.
spent 7 years writing theology books. I got a master's in theology. But when I was doing that, one of my I wasn't making a lot of money. I never really monetized that. But it's interesting because I had actually built out the funnels and everything for it, but I don't know, something felt weird about monetizing it, and so I never really pushed for that. I also didn't have a lot of money at the time, so it was hard to pump money into ad spend and all of that. So in any case, I wasn't making a lot of money, and I had a student slash friend who was working for a roofing company, and he asked me to come out, and he said, "Hey, will you come and build a little mini canvassing team for me?" Because he knew I had a background in sales management and training and everything. I went through some tremendous, honestly, best training I ever got in my life was with that retail company. As much as I kind of hated that role, it was probably one of the most influential things on my professional life. And so I came out of that, and he said, "Yeah, come grab like a person or two for me, train them how to go door to door, because I don't want to canvas anymore. And then I want to close the deals." So it was a sales rep who was more or less trying to automate and delegate parts of his process. And I said, "Sure." And I was really excited. The day I was supposed to start, I got a text from him. He said, "Hey, the owner wants to talk to you before you start." And I was like, man, I was like looking forward to start making some money here. And the owner said, "Hey, let's grab lunch." It was a Monday, and he said, "Let's grab lunch on a Wednesday." Don't ask me how I remember that. And so we went to Jimmy John's out in Waxahachie, Texas. And by the end of that, he asked me to build a canvassing team for his whole company, which was doing about 10 million and had 35 reps at the time.
Hmm.
And I said, "Sure. How do you want me to track the leads, right? Because it's going to be a substantial amount of data and upkeep." And I had already talked to my friend because I'd asked him but prior to this, I'd asked him about what he was using for project management software, and he was using a notepad. And so I asked this guy, and he said, we're like maybe an Excel spreadsheet." And I said, "Man, you actually don't need a canvassing manager. You need like a director of operations." And so he ended up like on the spot hiring me to do that for him. Did that for a couple of months. He and his partner split ways. It was pretty ugly, as tends to happen in the roofing industry. His brother had died. He was absent for about 3 months, and the other owner, minority owner, split off with like 90% of the company. I stuck with him. He had taken good care of me. I stuck with him. Got in the field at that point because he needed cash flow. He had all this overhead from prior to that. And so I got in the field, grabbed a couple of guys, trained them. We just, murdered a neighborhood basically that was out in Duncanville, Texas. We just set up shop and just absolutely slayed.